And what up, everybody? Welcome back to Furrow Publications YouTube channel. On this channel, I talk about zines and DIY publishing. Channel that might be of interest for the DIY entrepreneur in your life or yourself. And for those of you guys who don't know, my name is Rich. I publish a comic book zine anthology called Furrow Comics. Go ahead and watch this quick video. Furrow Comics is the comic book zine anthology that I publish. This is filled with underground subversive comics by different cartoonists from all kinds of places. We are always looking for new contributors and do pay for contributions. Also, new readership, $20 for 1 year subscription or $3 for an issue. I will be putting in a link in the show notes for that so you guys can peep out. If you guys want to support, please do so. And if you guys want to support but don't have a couple bucks on you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And today I want to talk about Big Cartel. I'm a big fan of Big Cartel, and I think you should be too. And I want to go down my reasoning for that. Big Cartel is the sales platform for my little e-commerce DIY business that I use, and I have used all of them. I've used Wix, Squarespace, GoDaddy, Shopify, Amazon Marketplace, Etsy, you name it. I've tried them all, and I have to say that without a doubt, Big Cartel is my favorite. And Big Cartel also had these 2 articles, and I just kind of wanted to talk about it and give my perspective on it. To begin with, I agree that Big Cartel doesn't have all the apps that some of the other ones have, like GoDaddy and Shopify. They have a lot of little additives that you can have on your web page to make it more user friendly. It looks nicer, it looks sleeker a lot of times, but it comes at a price, it comes at a cost. It's not something that is free. So what is the yearly plans, right? So like I said, Big Cartel, they have the free plan that I absolutely recommend for anyone to use it and to get started. You're able to scale up pretty easily using Big Cartel. They let you have 5 free listings, and then all you're paying for is the sales transaction fee, which is standard, and everyone's gonna charge you that to begin with. Shopify's lowest plan for the year is $348. GoDaddy's lowest plan for 1 year is $120. Squarespace's lowest plan for the year is $182. Amazon Marketplace, it depends. You can do it by units sold or you can do it by monthly subscriptions. A monthly subscription is $40. So if you did that for 1 year, $480. Whereas per unit sold is $1 for everything sold on top of the sales transaction. Now that's a lot like Etsy. Etsy has the same thing of a listing fee of 20 cents that you pay up front whether or not you sell it on top of the sales transaction fee. So therein lies one of the first points about Big Cartel, is that there's really nothing hindering you from starting. There's nothing hindering you from the point of entry. You can start listing it, and then if you make money, continuously build up. And as someone who's just starting off, that's one of the most important things that you need. You need time to grow and to really see what's working by testing the water and not bleeding yourself out as you're testing things. And I think that Big Cartel gives you that option. The second point is so Wix has a free one as well as Big Cartel. The difference is that Big Cartel, there is a brand recognition to that. The same way when people think of Etsy, they think of handmade. It's the same way that when people think of Big Cartel, they think of DIY, handmade, homemade. They think of a very hands-on entrepreneur type business. They don't think about with Squarespace, GoDaddy, and Wix and all this other stuff of these major, businesses that have actual funding behind them and so on and so forth. I think that when people hear Big Cartel, they think of a guy at home making YouTube videos like me, publishing zines, and really trying to make something happen. And I think that brand recognition is something that Big Cartel has created, and it does help young people that get a Big Cartel shop. It's some added leverage to what we're doing, and that's free as well, just for using the Big Cartel name. So that's another point that absolutely beats why I would rather go Big Cartel than Wix, even though Wix as well has a free, plan. And using that leverage of Big Cartel doesn't take away from you. Like when you use Etsy or Amazon Marketplace, one of the things that you're going to find is that people will be quick to say, I bought it from Etsy. I got it off Etsy. They don't say I got it from Furrow Publication on Etsy. They don't, because Etsy and Amazon Marketplace aren't e-commerce platforms. They're a seller's market. That's different. That's like using Facebook to purchase things and using Amazon to purchase things. Nobody remembers specifically who they purchased it from. Rather, they remember where they purchased it from. Right? And that way, you're not really building your brand. You're not building your niche. People might stumble upon your things, and you might get sales that you otherwise wouldn't have by being on that marketplace, but no one's going to remember it was you, right? So I think that that's one of the things that is a pro and a con, where yeah, it's a marketplace, so people might stumble upon you, but also with that same thing, no one might remember you. They're going to remember Etsy and Amazon before they remember Furrow Publication. And so I think Big Cartel summed it up best, right? They said when someone buys your goods, you want them to tell their friends that they bought it from you, not Etsy. And I agree with that point. So I think once again with Big Cartel, you get some of that brand recognition for homemade DIY entrepreneur type situation, and you don't lose any of the branding that you would with using Etsy or Amazon Marketplace because it's a seller's platform. What are some of the drawbacks for Big Cartel, right? Because there are drawbacks. And one of those drawbacks is that there's a lot of apps that they do not carry. So they have a few, but like things like Shopify, the reason why everyone kind of likes Shopify is because Shopify will allow you to sell on Instagram and other platforms like that. They have better data and analytics. That's honestly way better. So that is the trade-off. I will say that the Big Cartel website is not the worst of all the ones that I've labeled, but it's far from the best. Like Squarespace, GoDaddy, Shopify, absolutely much better web pages, much more data and analytics that will help you kind of make better decisions. But those are easy things to fix, and I've always heard this saying, and like I've always agreed with it, right? That the more money you have, the more easier things become. But until you have that money, you kind of have to do it more brick and mortar. And what do I mean by that? I mean that instead of relying on the web page to give me these analytics, I make my own notes and I keep my own analytics and I keep track of my own things. And that's one of those things that later on, as time progresses, I would definitely upgrade and pay for things and then maybe have those additives added on. But in the beginning, unless you're selling thousands upon thousands of things in the beginning, those analytics are not going to help you to begin with, you know? And that's what I think people don't understand. People want to come in with the monster truck as opposed to starting small and scaling it up. And, you know, scaling a business is the route to go. Now, the last thing that I want to mention, which is definitely a pro for me, is that, so I've tried Shopify. Now, when I had Shopify, I'm going to tell you right now, it was not easy to get rid of my Shopify account. They charged me an extra month for leaving, and I didn't understand how that panned out. I didn't understand how that worked. Amazon Marketplace, oh my God, it was a horrible time getting rid of that. They did not make it easy at all. And that's why I think that Big Cartel's no money plan is one of the best. And like I said, on moments where I needed to upgrade, it was easy to upgrade, easy to go back to my same plan. There was no hassle, no problem. And that's one of the things that I absolutely fell in love with Big Cartel over. The fact that as I needed to, I can go up or down the tiers as I saw fit. And it's one of the things that absolutely made me feel like, okay, Big Cartel is my spot. So if you guys got time and you want to check out those articles, go ahead and hit the links in the show notes. And once again, don't forget that there's a link to my Big Cartel shop so you can buy the comic books that I make, that I publish, and show some love and support my way. All right, guys, if you guys are interested in starting your own little Big Cartel shop, check them out, do what you do, and let me know how that works out for you. Until next time, lates.